It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
Hey, it's the failed athlete, man, but that don't mean you gotta fail in life. Make sure y'all like the video, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We might be here for a while. Let's not even play with it. We might be here for a while. Dealing with Prime, North Dakota State. I told you what it was gonna come down to, right? For the few people that did get eyes on that video, I clearly stated it's gonna go one of three ways. Well, damn, man, of course it's really gonna go one or two ways. It's really gonna go one or two ways. Either they could lose or win. Yeah. All right. We got it. But me, I stated that, hey, listen, these dudes, are coming to play. It is what it is. I mean, this is North Dakota State at the end of the day. What are we talking about, right? They only won 9 out of 11 ships. They only won 9 out of the last 11 ships. Let's call it what it is. NDSU's never really been nothing to play with. You can't take them lightly, right? And whoever scheduled that game against North Dakota State, you really got to question and look them in the mirror, because that's just not no easy walkover game. So either they was plotting on somebody from the inside, or they made a conscious decision to say, you know what, we gonna test ourselves this first game. We gonna go ahead and really see where we stand, because we know what the hell we gonna get out of North Dakota State. Prime ain't no dummy. Far from a dummy. So if you thinking he's not doing his research on this team and he's thinking we're taking these guys lightly, that's not the case at all. Everybody knows what North Dakota State is about. If you really tapped into the college football scene, you gonna know what's what. In North Dakota State, I mean, they'll catch you. They'll catch you slipping. And Colorado came to play. Like I said, in the inside, I was pleasantly surprised because Colorado was getting anything they wanted to get on offense, but at the same time, they made a ton of mistakes. We got to call it what it is. They look like the more undisciplined team until late. North Dakota State started breaking down a little bit later, just a little bit later. But I mean, you know, for them to stay in the game that whole time, I wasn't really enamored with it. You know, I wasn't too impressed. It's North Dakota State. I knew what they were going to do the entire time. Colorado was either going to have to blow these guys out. It was going to be a nail biter, or they were going to lose. And North Dakota State is one of those teams that you could really expect to lose to. So that's why I'm like, who scheduled that game? Who was behind that game? Who was behind that? Seriously, it seems like somebody want Prime to take some type of L from within. You got to watch that, man. You might have a mole on your team. Shit getting ugly out here, man. But listen, we got to give credit where credit is due. Travis Hunter out there looking like a Heisman early. Trav out there looking like a Heisman early. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Trav Hunter, best of both worlds. Trav Hunter giving you, this guy's a monster on offense, defense, giving you everything you need. Pause, no diddy. Shedeur gonna be Shedeur. Me personally, I really think they fighting for the Heisman. I don't know who's going to take it home. At this point, I'm going with Trav. But at the same time, they know they got to get Shedeur Heisman right now or nothing. It's Heisman or nothing. And you know he just signed a big Nike deal. It's either or. I'm not going to say it's Heisman or nothing for Shedeur, because he does have, am I pronouncing his name wrong? But as far as Trav, he does have Trav on his team. So if Trav somehow pulls out that Heisman as well, it's going to look like a win for Shedeur as well. It doesn't have to necessarily be him winning it, you know? I mean, it's that Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart type situation, you know? They just wasn't playing for long enough to win that Natty and that Heisman. But they may come out some Heisman this year. You never know. That's kind of what it's looking like early for Trav Hunter. He's putting his bid in. So I think it's a solid win. I think next week against Nebraska, they might run into a brick wall. You know, Nebraska got it out for them. Nebraska been wanting them guys since last year. You remember that quarterback last year? He was not legit enough to quit. He was not him. But I heard they got some new guy in there. No, seriously. Somebody in there new done took over there at Nebraska at that QB1 and they ready to go. Let's call it what it is. Last year, they necessarily didn't have the firepower to kind of deal with Colorado. They didn't have a quarterback. Am I saying Nebraska's going to win the game? Nah, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying they got a strong chance to this time around, though. They quarterback hate Prime. They coach hate Prime. Can't stand him. Will do anything in his power to take Prime up out of there, man. And he's probably licking his chops because he felt like that North Dakota State, oh, we got this in the bag. Nebraska? Yeah, we're them. We're the Huskers. That's North Dakota State, boy. We got this in the bag. We ready. Put me in the game, coach. We ready. Put me against Prime. Okay. You know, I don't know. I still think they match up athletically a couple steps ahead of Nebraska. Not saying that Nebraska isn't competing. I know they're competing. North Dakota State competed. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think Nebraska is a little bit more athletic than North Dakota State. And I think Nebraska, you know, really might be another true test to see how far, you know, Coach Prime in Colorado has come, man. If I'm keeping it funky. If I'm keeping it being, like, we got to really put things in perspective. That North Dakota State game was win, but you got these boys who've been at your neck. I mean, everybody's at Colorado's neck. They're the primetime team, no pun intended. So if you coming for the king, you really better be ready for whatever. You know, and right now, as far as prime time, as far as media coverage, Prime, Colorado, they got the spotlight. So if you want some type of clout, you're going to do anything you can to get that off Prime. And don't think that that coach from Nebraska is not looking for some get back. You know he coming. You know he coming. Pause. No Diddy. But you know he coming. You know he coming. No Diddy. Make sure I say it twice. So I think Travis Hunter is going to have to play Jimmy Horn. Another great performance out of him. That would help. You know what I'm saying? Just bring that same type of effort that you brought against North Dakota. The defense got to come a little bit more prepared. And that scheme got to be a little bit more solid. At some points, North Dakota, man, straight up, it looked like they were out coaching Colorado. Let's call it what it is. And I'm not one to really, I'm not trying to call nobody out. I'm just calling it like I see it. You know, on the defensive end, Colorado was out coached. North Dakota State, they players didn't have necessarily the talent, especially the speed on the outside. But damn it, some of that play calling, that system, that system, you had people making plays out that system. Hey, you put them up, and hey, man, it works. It works. Remember back in the day, you used to have them, you know, you used to play against all them white boys, and they used to try to make you slow your game down to their style. You remember that? Boy, I couldn't, man. I used to be so mad. Hey, why are you doing this? Play us. Play our style. Stop switching up. Don't play their scheme. Don't play and try to prove yourself and shoot the lights out and set 18 picks when you're playing against them. No. Run and gun. Go get buckets. Go do what you do. Go play how you play. But a lot of the times you had coaches leading the front trying to acquiesce to the other team's play style. Why are you bending knee? Stand up on your own too. And let's play. Why are you bending knee? We don't have to bend no knees around this thing. But ultimately, I'm thinking Deion is going to win this thing. I'm ultimately thinking Colorado is going to get the W. We'll see. We'll see. Nebraska is definitely gunning for him. The coach will love nothing more than to really run this dude ragged. Scrape the floor with Colorado. If they could, they would. Now, they weren't able to get the job done last year. We knew that first year Colorado was stomping people the first couple games. It was really going ham the first couple games, and this could be the same type of history. History will repeat itself with Colorado again. I'm not going off on a limb. I think they're going to beat Nebraska. I think Travis is going to ball, Shedeur going to ball, and ultimately Prime them going to get a game plan ready and full-fledged on go. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them stopping the way that offense was so high-powered, at least at the receiver position. Coach KD, you saying it's not better receivers out there? Of course it is. Of course. There's some guys out there really doing it big, but I'm just saying, they got a couple Heismans. They got a couple Heismans on their team. One's playing receiver, one's playing DB, the other's at quarterback. So it's like they got some Heisman candidates on their team. And then you sprinkle in a ton of other guys who really do their shit as well. On the outside, they look good. But on the inside, she ain't shit. Excuse my French. Pardon my French. But they got to get tougher on that inside. It is what it is. Hey, if you want to sit here and say just throwing the ball, that's going to get them to the promised land, I'm not here to really argue that. Maybe it could happen, Maybe. But Coach Prime and them guys right now, man, they're doing their thing. But it's a lot more going on in Colorado. They're out there taking over apartments, taking over full-fledged buildings. It's going crazy out there. And I know Prime, he keeps those guys out of the limelight as far as situations that's surrounding Denver. But at the same time, where are they with all of this? They like the biggest dudes in Colorado. Sometimes, I don't necessarily want to hear what Prime has to say. I'd be more interested in what a lot of these students say, if they even know what's going on about it. A lot of these players, if they even know what's going on about it. Do they know that full-fledged buildings being taken over by the Venezuelans? Boy, these Venezuelans out here done took over like the Carter. They done took over like it's the Carter, man. This camera sucks. This camera is forcing me to upgrade. It's forcing me to do better. I'm out here struggling, but everybody got their little struggle period, don't they? Colorado did last year. Now they up. They showing they big guns. If not big guns, at least mid-tier. I told you, anybody who set up the game against North Dakota State, they had to have something out for Prime. It had to be an inside job. Okay? They didn't purposely schedule that game, but once they seen it was on the schedule, they said, hey, we might as well prepare. We might as well go ahead and beat up on these guys, right? That wasn't really the case. They didn't really stomp on them, but they got that W, and they got it convincingly. You never doubted at any point in that game that they weren't going to pull it off. That's just what it was, right? They were winning from the jump. But are they aware of these Venezuelans, though, coming over and really wrecking stuff out there in Aurora? That's not too far from Boulder. I looked it up. I believe it's somewhere around out there causing havoc in Aurora. Now, it's been some stuff that's happened in Aurora before. Y'all remember? I believe old boy dressed up as the Joker. Something like that. Remember, he went off in the movie theater. That was the first of the movie theater situations. Then from then on, it was copycats trying to do exactly what he did in Aurora. But Aurora had a bad cloud over his name for a minute. And now it's looking like the same. These Venezuelans coming over there like, get your $5 ass over there and make change. Wait, I said, it's going to get crazy, man. What Wesley did to G Money, it wasn't pretty. And they're going around collecting rent from the locals. And you saw the viral videos. You saw what it was. But yet here we are. Still, see, my whole thing is I rock with Colorado. I love Colorado, but it's kind of right now, it's a distraction from the city, from what's really going on in Denver. I mean, it's money to be made. Don't get me wrong. Prime is a cash cow. But it's real life stuff happening, cracking right now, right in the backyard of Denver. Venezuelans taking over. Right in Denver, Venezuelan gangs taking over whole apartments. You thought it was a movie? Nah. They over here flexing right now in them apartments, collecting rent. But hey, we got them authorities saying otherwise. Let's give them a shot.
I stopped by here at 12th and Dallas. Got quite a few of our officers out here that are out here tonight again. I've been out here for several weeks, making contacts with our residents, reassuring them about the criminal activity that's happening here and how we're going to address it. We're out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively investigating criminal activity that's happening and listen.
So they're actively investigating criminal activity, right? But people were asking, where were the police when they were getting stuck up for their paper? Where were the police when them dudes came around with them things? Where was the... People are asking. And now all of a sudden you're patrolling and things are supposed to be good. I mean, people thinking the worst nowadays. People may be thinking the police are in on it. I didn't say it. I mean, it's not coming from me. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't look at me like I'm the bad guy because I saw some people with my own eyes. I mean, I saw it. I saw them with guns. I saw them go collect money. Now, I got you. Crisis actors, I got you. Crisis actors, I got you. Let's get back to it.
Listening to them so that we can learn anything that we're missing. What are we missing, and actually find out what exactly is going on. We're out here because we care. I mean, nobody should be wearing this uniform if they don't care. And we want the residents and the people that live here to know that we care. We've been talking to the residents here and learning from them to find out what exactly is going on. And there's definitely a different picture. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community, but what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over this complex.
Now, that's completely different from seeing it on film, seeing those guys walk up to certain apartments with guns. There was about 4 or 5 deep with the guns. The rest of the cats were coming up the stairs. They had the lookout area on lock. We saw it visually. So unless there was some actors put in place, unless there was some people who agreed to get stuck up, and I mean, it could all be an act. It can all be an act. What we saw could all be an act, but here you have the police telling us otherwise. You have the police telling us that we didn't see what we saw. Like we didn't see a Venezuela. Like we didn't see these Venezuelans come over here and take over like it was. They coming over and taking like it. They coming over, man. Like, man, this shit is crazy, dog. They coming to take over like Nino in '94. And you're allowing it. You're allowing it. But they say that the Hells Angels are going to pop up soon. They say they're going to get the Rumble started. You know, if these Venezuelan gangs are coming and trying to take over their cities, you know the good Hells Angels are going to run amok. You know, Hells Angels, they going to put their little 2 cents in, right? So we'll see how it all plays out. But for the police trying to, you know, pretty much, for the police to pretty much insult your intelligence and make it out to seem like you have absolutely no idea what's going on, when you had to go through that fear, you had to go through that pain, that's gaslighting, right?
We've really made an effort to the last few days to just really ask the specific questions and the direct questions in terms of the gang activity and who's actually making sure that people aren't paying rent to gang leaders or gang members, that's not happening. And we've discovered here today and yesterday talking to so many residents that that's not the case. We've been talking about, and they've been sincere with us. We really believe that they are sincere with us.
Do you believe this lady right here? Yeah. Can you trust what she's saying? Does she seem like legit? Would you ride with what she's saying?
And we're standing out here, and I can tell you that gang members have not taken over this apartment complex.
To those building owners and those management companies. Now, take a look at that video. It was first given to us at daybreak on Wednesday, showing armed men breaking into multiple apartments at the Edge at Lowry apartment complex. Now, shortly before all of this video, there was a shootout that happened in the parking lot. I should say that happened after the video was taken. Now, this led to belief that a gang was potentially taking over the apartment complex. But on Friday, Interim Aurora Police Chief Heather Morris, you heard from her just a few minutes ago, stated that is not the case.
Out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively investigating criminal activity.
So this lady's going to tell you that you saw something yeah. I mean, hey, we saw that with our own eyes, but I guess they put her in front of you and you just bite for anything. I guess that's what's happening right now, right? You put her in front of you and you just go buck wild, go stupid. I just get the... Oh, did Captain say that? Captain said it? Okay. You know, I just believe you. I believe you. I just believe you. That type shit.
I stopped by here at 12th and Dallas. Got quite a few of our officers out here that are out here tonight again.
Straight face. Now, if you're so chill at this point, if you're patrolling the area and you got everything on lock, what happened early on? That's all I'm saying. What happened early on? Are you working with these people? Are you cutting deals with these people on the back end? I'm just asking questions because it seems relatively odd how you're just able to sweep that spot at this point, right? It seems like you always had the ability to do that, if that's the case. But for some reason, you're telling me that you want me to believe you because you're well-spoken and you can formulate a sentence and you believe you look good in that uniform. I truly believe you look good in that uniform. You know, your glasses, a little older, middle-aged. Some of y'all would, you'll take it there. I know y'all would take it there. Probably hate your guts. Probably can't stand your ass. But you'll take it there. You'll still take it there. So they throw her in front of us, which is an insult, to be completely honest. But, I'm not knocking her. I'm just saying that I know a lot of dudes could do much better. I know a lot of dudes who would probably strive for a little bit more. Not knocking her.
Out here for several weeks, making contacts with the residents, reassuring them about the criminal activity that's happening here and how we're going to address it. We're out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively investigating criminal activity that's happening and listening to them so that we can learn anything that we're missing. What are we missing, and actually find out what exactly is going on.
I just think that, it's kind of a little too late. People don't believe in you at this point. People don't trust you. People asking all type of questions. Where was you when I was paying these people this money? I'm still liable to have to pay this. I gotta somehow come up with this rent money. You let these Venezuelans come here and take over shop. This ain't the way it's supposed to go. Full-fledged apartments paying rent. Who is living in them apartments? Nobody bust back? Huh? Nobody bust back? I'm shocked out here, man. I'm shocked. And it's sad. It's gonna be a sad day in hell when I let somebody just come over here and take up shop like that. I'd rather die. What Dream say? I'd rather die. What he say? Yeah, man. It gets real, and you gotta understand that nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's gonna be there when you need help. I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm just trying to say you need to be prepared for the worst. Look what happened to a lot of these people in these houses. They didn't properly prepare. And I know preparing sometimes could seem tough depending on who's watching this video, right? It could be tough for different people because preparing in that case is ultimately thinking about something you don't want to have to do. You don't want to have to go to war for yours. And that's okay because not everybody is necessarily built like that. But a lot of people out here defend themselves, dog. I'm going to call it what it is. And a lot of people not going for this. They just not. You know, I don't got to cuss nobody out. I don't got to talk about nobody's race. A lot of people aren't going for this right here. And I'm just being, that's all I know. That's all I know. So, you know, when it comes to running up in people's houses, 5, 6 deep, boy, it's people with PTSD out there. It's people out there who will rock you to sleep. Which begs to ask, what type of people was they taking over shop up in there? Because I ain't laying down. I know you seen Benny Siegel. State Property was a classic. I know you seen it. It was a classic. And it was one line up on there. One line that everybody knew. Everybody took serious from that movie. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of people not going for that. A lot of people not going out like that. Aurora, Denver, you better stand up. You better make it happen. You know what I mean? That's why if the Hells Angels are really going out there to try to make something happen, we'll see how it turns out. It seems like the police are on it now, but a lot of people are asking questions. A lot of people don't necessarily believe in what the police are saying at this time. Maybe they need to gain a little bit more credibility with the people. What more can I say? You know, I'm just letting you know exactly what's happening. This is criminal activity. And a lot of people say, well, damn, you know, if you're coming from Venezuela, it's a different type of hunger up over there. It's a different type of animal. But I'm letting you know, it's some wildebeest up over here. It's some real animals. It's some lions in this jungle up over here. And I ain't just talking about me. I'm speaking on behalf of everybody that's ready to ride when somebody come try to set up shop in their area, in their town, in their city. People don't respond well to that. Now, the people of Aurora, Colorado, it happens. I mean, I guess it happens. They camped it out or they just bull rushed it and people weren't prepared. And sometimes, most of the times, all the times, you got to stay ready to keep from getting ready. And a lot of people just weren't ready for what was coming. Because the reality of getting ready is putting yourself in a position you don't want to be in. I know you don't want to have to defend yourself, but the truth of the matter is you have to. And you know, I know Prime got them boys on lock, but Aurora hot right now. Aurora hot right now. You don't know who them people is going after at this point. So, you know, it's a lot of things going on in Colorado outside of football that need to get a little bit more light shined on it. And I know a lot of people is tapping in with this topic. It's been nationwide news. People across the board know what's going on. This Venezuelan issue right now, you know, taking over cribs, taking over apartments. It's not nothing that we haven't seen before, but it's just kind of a hostile attack because they just getting here. You know what I mean? Chicago, it's been some more incidents, but people are going to go ahead and go to the black on black issues in Chicago, right? I get it. They're going to go straight to that black on black. If it wasn't that black on black, though, I guarantee, I can almost guarantee that Chicago would be on the media for a lot of what's going on right now. It's a lot of immigrant warfare up over there right now. It's a lot of migrant warfare up over there right now, getting it in Chicago, going head to head with a lot of these gangs. And that's what I said. The black gangs in Chicago gonna always get the blame for the most part. But they got it cracking out there too. It's cracking out there just like they getting it cracking in Aurora. See, I heard about a couple of other gangs that may interject as well. Ultimately, we don't want violence. Ultimately, people just want a good world to live in with some high vibrations. And really just want to succeed and do right, or not really bother nobody. It's a section of people out there that's like that really just, you know, why you making it hard on me? Why you making life too hard on me? It's a lot of people out there like that. Not knocking nobody.
We're out here because we care. I mean, nobody should be wearing this uniform if they don't care. And we want the residents and the people that live here to know that we care. We've been talking to the residents here and learning from them to find out what exactly is going on. And there's definitely a different picture. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community.
You know, I'm not saying that the gangsters, you know, fresh over the border, ready to make it happen, ready to slit a throat. I'm not saying that, you know, they're not over here. That's not what I'm getting at, no.
But what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over this complex.
They haven't taken over. Police say the gangs haven't taken over. You heard it. You heard it from her mouth. You heard it from her mouth.
We've really made an effort to the last few days to just really ask the specific questions or the direct questions in terms of the gang activity and who's actually making sure that people aren't paying rent to gang leaders or gang members, that's not happening.
Who? Gang leaders. Freudian slip. The gang leader got this bad boy on lock. Our members. Man, they could be running that thing, man. Hey, listen. You don't know what type of money flowing through there right now. You don't know what type of drug operations they got cracking right in them Aurora apartments right now. Police coming around at this point. Hey, maybe it's empty. You got to ask your own questions. But you know the history. What's understood really don't even need to be said, but it's going to get said.
Happening. And we've discovered here today and yesterday talking to, so many residents that
they put her in front of you with some glasses. Half y'all want to get your kinks off. Just, I see them eyes bucking.
It's not the case. We've been talking about, and they've been sincere with us. We really believe that they are sincere with us. And we're standing out here, and I can tell you that gang members have not taken over this apartment complex.
Gang members didn't take over. They didn't. You heard it from her mouth. They didn't take over.
To those building owners and those management companies. Now, take a look at that video. It was first given to us at daybreak on Wednesday, showing armed men breaking into multiple apartments at the Edge at Lowry apartment complex. Now, shortly before all of this video, there was a shootout that happened in the
people in Denver just got to correct themselves. Be ready at this point. Just be ready at this point, because anything can happen. Anything can happen if they see you as a soft target. You know what I mean? These are supposed to be military age men. They got it cracking, Lord knows, back there in their own country, what they've done. I'm not trying to paint them out to be like savages or nothing like that, but it's just kind of a hostile takeover, Colorado, in the midst of all of this, I believe is going to win that game. I believe, like I said, Travis is going to take over. Normal stuff. Shedeur is going to throw for a couple hundred. Normal stuff. But is it all distraction from what's going on right now? We knee deep in football and just caught up that we don't see what's going on right in front of our eyes right now. It's getting tricky out here. You just got to stay safe. You got to chase your paper, chase your bag. Because, these people out here sticking you up, making you pay the rent to them, leaving you in debt. You're going to have to pay that money. Or that landlord, that governor, you're going to have to pay that money. That money is getting paid. So one way or another. So if they're collecting rent that you're supposed to be paying to the landlord, you're getting hit for double. Just remember that.
Parking lot. I should say that happened after the video was taken. Now, this led to belief that a gang was potentially taking over the apartment complex, but on Friday, interim Aurora Police Chief Heather Moores, you heard from her just a few minutes ago, stated that is not the case.
Out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively investigating criminal activity. I stopped by here at 12.
Man. It's just not honest. Come on, man. It's just questionable. Is she telling the truth? Is she being honest? My thing is, where do they go from here? Is the protection accurate? Are these guys really going to look over these apartments and these other areas around the city so this doesn't happen again? Or is this shit just the inevitable? Was this bound to happen from the jump? It's a pretty crazy situation, but Colorado is a shining light on the city of Boulder. It's a shining light on the city of Denver. The whole state of Colorado. Deion Sanders and, Shedeur, Travis Hunter, Shiloh, they got it booming up there. Jimmy Horn done made a name for himself. They doing their thing. So I'm not saying it ain't love for those guys and what they accomplished over there. I want the best for them. It's real stuff going on right down the street, 30 minutes away. I would hate for somebody on a team to be, dealing with a little fifi down the road or something, get hit for no reason. Now you're in the midst of some Venezuelan triad. You caught up in a situation. Can't pull yourself out of it. Really don't have to come to that.
In Dallas, got quite a few of our officers out here that are out here tonight again. I've been out here for several weeks, making contacts with our residents, reassuring them about the criminal activity that's happening here and how we're going to address it. We're out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively investigating criminal activity that's happening and listening to them so that we can learn anything that we're missing. What are we missing, and actually find out what exactly is going on.
Hey, man. Y'all tap in and let me know how you feel about this. Denver, Colorado, Aurora, Colorado Springs. It's the failed athlete. That don't mean you got to fail in life. Come on, man.